Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going?
It's going great, Steven. How are you guys?
How'd y'all fare up there? I didn't think I asked you, Chike. I don't know if you got it with that orange smoke, and did you get that?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did. It was it was crazy. We not stayed inside, but we wore a mask. It was like the reverse of COVID, right? Like you're wearing a mask outside.
Yeah.
And when you go inside, you can like breathe and be fine. But
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of so it was a wild 2 days of just feeling like seeing this fog and like you could smell it outside and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm glad it passed over, but yeah, it wasn't good. I don't know if did any of it make it down there?
I didn't see it, but some people said they saw it. I didn't see it though. But Miss Parker, we went to lunch on Friday. She was supposed to be going to DC last weekend, but she canceled it because of that. So she's gonna postponed it. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, by Saturday it was fine. So
That's what I heard. I heard it was that. Yeah. Yeah.
well, the latest thing here is that 95 collapsed. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I saw on the there was someone on Twitter that posted, I guess, news reports are going off, and uh, someone said, "Oh yeah, we lost the World Series, we lost the Super Bowl. The Phillies just taking L's this year." So
yeah,
it's sad
Well, I'll
but
let y'all
true.
right. I'll let y'all take it away with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I saw this weekend a movie called Blackberry, and it's a film that came out about a month ago, but it follows the story of Research in Motion, the company that created the BlackBerry device. And it's kind of like I guess, dramatized based on a true story kind of film following three time points in Research in Motion's history. One is when the tech founders were trying to get new customers and get a device, and then they get joined by this business salesperson type that just got fired from his job, and so he decides to join them and invest in the company and really help market what became kind of the first BlackBerry, to a point in 2003 where we see kind of BlackBerry's taking off, it's becoming popular, but now they're like looking out how to expand it, how to make it more kind of the device, the mobile device that everyone wants, and how they can market it and it becoming, what people would call it the crackberry and everything like that, up to 2007, right when iPhone got announced and like their reaction to the industry. And it's not too much spoilers per se, but it was interesting to see the tech founder, one of the tech guys, was very convinced that the iPhone was just not going to do anything. He said, people want actual keyboards. They don't care about having just a single screen. We are going to cater to this. And BlackBerry did actually like grow until about 2012, after the iPhone. But it's definitely a fun watch. It's very interesting. It has the main person is Glenn Howerton, who plays Dennis in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So he did a good job playing the business executive, and there's a few other names in there, but all in all, it's a fun movie. It's one of those like tech movies where, kind of like those Steve Jobs movies that came out a little while ago, where you get to see like, I didn't have a BlackBerry, but everyone knew BlackBerry, right? Like there was a time in the in the 2000s where everyone knew what a BlackBerry was. It was kind of cool. It was the status symbol. It was what people had and what people dealt with, and even in the business sense, what people were using for such a long time. And it's crazy to see now that they're not even in the phone market anymore. They don't make phones. They do other things, but from becoming one of the biggest phone manufacturers and producers in the world to like nothing. It's an interesting story to watch. So highly recommend it. I've got it on Amazon Prime. You can rent it for like $5.
Yeah,
And
I love my BlackBerry.
it was like, and they knew how to like market it as like in one scene they're telling their business people or their marketing department and salespeople to go out to the country clubs and go out to all the fancy places and always have your BlackBerry in hand. There's a scene, guy playing tennis with one hand and his BlackBerry in the other. He's like, start that conversation. People are going to ask what that is. They're going to want it. They're going to see it, and they're going to think it's something exclusive. So it has some kind of fun, innovative like things that you see that happened in history. And granted, I will say, all these stories, you got to read the real story. They do condense the timelines. They do kind of merge a few things to get to their point. But it's such an interesting time in history.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So the first film I saw was technically it's a mini series. It's called How to Create a Sex Scandal, and it's about a small Texas town, and they actually have a swingers club in the small town, and the swingers of the town go to the club so they can do their swinging activities, and it's all fun and games until someone reports abuse in the swingers club, and the abuse is with children. So the story is that they have children dancing on poles, and people are having sex with young children, and these are the reports to the police, and the police do their investigation. And this is over a series. It breaks down over episodes, and without giving it away, it's building up to a twist and a climactic ending. So you have to watch it. It's pretty interesting. It's a true story, and yeah, it's a little twisted, not a lot of twisted actually, but definitely check it out. It's worth the watch. Again, it's a true story, and just watching it, thinking that this is what's going on in this country. This is what people are occupying their time with. So definitely check it out.
Wow.
The next film I saw, it came out in 2012, but I had never seen it. I had heard about it, but I had never seen it. Never saw a promo for it or anything. And this is Steel Magnolias, the melanin version. And this has Queen Latifah, Jill Scott, Felicia Rashad, Alfre Woodard, and Condola Rashad. It was pretty good. And I remember the original Steel Magnolias, and I was basically following it along to see if the storyline was going to be similar. And it very much was. And they found a way to bring it into modern day, and it didn't lose anything. So I definitely recommend, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I think it was on Lifetime Network. It's a good movie. And the last film that I saw, I'll tell you up front that I'm actually surprised that I liked it, because it starred Nicolas Cage, and it also stars Nicholas Hoult. People know who Nicolas Cage is. Nicholas Hoult, if you don't know him, he plays Beast in the X-Men movies. So well known, and I've said it here, I'm just not a Nicolas Cage fan. But I figured out something. So the only other film that I like Nicolas Cage in is Face Off. It must be something about the distortion of his face that I can tolerate seeing him in the movie. I don't know why I'm just not a Nicolas Cage fan, but I really did enjoy Renfield. It was funny. It had moments of horror. It was gory. It had action. So it had a lot of stuff in it. So basically, Nicolas Cage is Count Dracula, and he finds his faithful, humble servant, Renfield, centuries ago, and he's under Dracula's spell. And basically, if you don't know the story of Dracula, Renfield is the human that does the bidding for Dracula when he's in slumber during the day. So Renfield, collects the bodies. He has, bodies there for Dracula when he wakes up. He does the tending to the business of Dracula. He tends to the home. He's basically his man Friday. And so in this one, it starts off with Renfield having a dilemma of conscience because he wants to leave Dracula. So he's in a self-help group for people in abusive relationships. And he's not telling his group who he's in a relationship with. He's just listening to all these stories, trying to get empowered, listening to these other people pull away from their abusers. So then he has the bright idea of, oh, I can kill two birds with one stone. All these people that have these abusers, I can feed their abusers to Dracula and help everyone in the group. And this is how it starts. I won't tell you the rest, but it's a roller coaster ride from then on. I will say Nicolas Cage is wonderful as Dracula. He's even funny. But for most of the film, his face is distorted. So I can tolerate it. But it's definitely a good watch. So check it out.
Okay.
Glad you liked it. That looked like a good one. And looked up
Yeah,
your
it was
alley
good.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Anything coming down the pipeline?
The Flash.
Yeah, I know Chike's waiting for Flash. Nothing's really jumping out at me, but maybe I'll break down and watch the Flash. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, as always, thank you for letting us know what to spend our time and money on and what not to. Have a great week, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, thanks. All right, bye.
All right.